How old are you? You turned 26, or you're 25, right? And if you were to go to college right now, and like you just didn't have to worry about money, you didn't have to worry about your house, you didn't have to worry about any bills, you just use your GI Bill, and then you're like, someone pays for your everything else that you want, and you went to college right now, you'd be a 25-year-old going to college as a freshman or sophomore, right? Somewhere around there. You'd have like enough, credits and stuff to probably be a sophomore, right? At least. You'd go in and yeah, and there'd be people mostly like around 18, 17, 18, 19 years old, and it'd be a very different world. I just talked to one of my friends. His name is Paul. I call him Paul or Fa, and he is 25 and he's in college right now. And at first he said, "Oh," I asked him. I was like, "Hey, do you find a difference?" And like that's kind of shocking to you, like what people talk about, and like you just feel disconnected. He's like, no, not at all. And then later on, he's like, you know what? I really do actually. Like it just, for instance, he was like talking to a girl, and they're trying to go clubbing or partying or whatever, or buying alcohol. I can't remember. And then all of a sudden, somewhere in the conversation, he figures out that she's like 19 and drinking, and he's like, she's underage drinking. Like this is like crazy to me. Like I'm 25. Like I don't have to worry about that. That's crazy that they're like fake IDs, right? And like it's so crazy.
Everywhere.
Yeah,
Everywhere.
it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I think with cigarettes now too, like being 21, you have to, right? Yeah, I think you have to be 21. They passed it like a couple years ago. But it's crazy if you really put yourself into a college person's life and like you assume that lifestyle, man, it's going to be completely different. Because when I was 17, 18, 19, and I was in college my freshman year, I felt so disconnected, and I wasn't even in the military yet because I just graduated high school, and I was like going off and working 2 jobs and going to college and stuff, and I felt so disconnected by myself just because I was paying for my own life, and I was struggling. I was getting fat and crazy, and my girlfriend at the time in college, she was like, "Oh my gosh, my parents didn't pay for my cell phone bill or credit card bill or something. I can't remember, but it was like I hate them." Like I was like, bro, just get a job, like like get a part-time job.
You hate your parents for that?
Yeah, I was like, what do you for a while I was very frustrated at that because I was like, man, like all these people, they don't even know what life is. They don't have to pay for anything. I'm so I was kind of jealous, and it was very hateful, and I eventually got over it because I started realizing that nobody really asks for the life that they're given. So like the rich people, the really well off people, they're just like I'm born, like it's not like customize your character. I wish that we could all be like that, but then that'd be like really socialistic, right? But like the poor people too.
5'7".
Yeah, we'd all be 5'4", like the perfect height. It's like the perfect height, 5'4". I'm 5'5", so I'm not
Proven by science.
Yeah, it's the best size. I just made that poll. 100% of the ladies that I've surveyed, they agreed. But yeah, like the poor people too, like the really like I'm talking about poverty, like under $15,000-$20,000 of like a household income. They never asked for that life. It really sucks when you think about it, like where people come from and all that stuff. But the way that capitalism and society actually function is that like there's always gonna be poor people and there's always gonna be like really rich people, and that's just how it works. And like if you're born poor, I think a lot of people think like you're stuck there, and then it's like hard to get out, but like there's people that have miracle stories, man. There's people that are super poor or homeless you've seen that become millionaires and have like longevity in their funds and finances, and they've started businesses and stuff. And it's really about it's about like how bad you want it. I think the preparation, and then like your networking, and then luck, because luck is really when you're prepared and you can capitalize on opportunity.
That's a good way to put it.
So but then there's like super like crappy ways to being stuck. Like if let's say you were born in New York City, and then your parents and your like generations of you just like paying rent like up the butthole, like just absolutely insane, and or like in LA, right, or Sacramento, like you're just stuck there. And if you want to move to, let's say you're like financially savvy and you're like surveyed everywhere, and you're like trying to find a way to like boost your life and be successful, you're like, I'm gonna go to Mississippi, it's the poorest state, it's cheap to live. Well, how do you even afford to like move away from Sacramento first,
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I mean, I grew up in a family kind of similar. Parents were divorced from age 1, so really that was the only lifestyle I knew was, there's no good enough combined income to really truly take care of everything. And like I remember summers with my dad, whenever we would have visitation, we would buy these like 16-pack of giant hot dogs. They're like a pound a piece. It was literally like a slab of meat, but they're hot dogs, because you could get them for like $20.
Yeah.
Almost 20 pounds of meat for $20. Granted, it's hot dogs, but like that'd be like our treat.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like a delicacy.
cook up some grilled hot dogs, a little bit of mustard and ketchup. So, I mean, like, no one has been rich in my family. Honestly, starting with my brother and I, my brother's also pretty successful.
It's in IT, right?
He's a pure math developer.
Oh my gosh. That's smart. Just brilliant. I remember you talking about
Which
him.
also, he's the first person on my dad's side of the family who have gone to college.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, a lot of that was through grants, public funding type stuff, because mom and dad didn't have the money. He didn't work 4 jobs to afford to go to a PhD level math college, but he still managed to pull through, you know. So I really honestly think is like looking forward type thing. My brother and I were like the first generation on just about both sides of our family that have started to kind of break out of that. So I know how much of it truly can come from work, but like you said, you're born in Sacramento or Mississippi and you're trying to move out of there. Like, how do you even start?
Yeah. I would say it's not impossible, but for some people it's harder. They have to like literally try harder, you know. But it's really crazy to me, man, because you really think about like all the immigrants that come over here, whether you're Mexican or you know, Spaniard or Asian, you know, in Southeast Asia or whatever. Like, you come over and you don't know any English and you try to learn, or maybe you barely know English, but then you see those guys become so successful, whether they're in like, you know, the STEM fields or they own like a restaurant or a nail salon or whatever. It's really crazy that everybody would like risk their livelihood over there, which is like not that great anyways. But then like death, right? What's worse than that is like death. Like whether they're like jumping over a fence or like, you know, swimming over like swimming or getting a boat or something like that. I think there's a lot of Cubans that keep going to Florida by boat or whatever. It's insane. You know, you got a lot of people over here like there's no opportunity. I'm like, bro, there's literally so many opportunities, and sometimes you have to do things. Yeah, you have to do things that you don't want to do. Like for me, I remember in boot camp, they were sitting us, and it was supposed to be like a very like prideful moment. And the drill instructors, I think we're like kind of in the middle of the boot camp training, and they were like, "Why did you guys join?" And I remember they're going around, you know, and all these people are like, I'm a 5th generation. I'm gonna be a Marine or whatever. Like my father served in Nam and World War I and World War II, and like I just want to, you know, make my family proud. The other one was like, I immigrated here and I love America. I love America so much. I would serve my life and blah blah blah. And then me, I was like, I'm just here for college. And my drill instructor was like, shut the hell up, Max. You know, like, this is, you just ruined the moment. I was like, I'm just being honest. Like, I mean, I love America and stuff, but like, first and foremost, dude, I need to go to college and like not be poor and homeless.